Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our June Keys Penguin Habitat. My name is Michelle. I'm one of the keepers here, and it's my lucky job to work with our penguins as well as our marine mammals and all of our other bird and reptile species. Now, if you notice, our penguins are in a kind of a different state right now, and we have many penguins in different states. This is their molting time, and molt for a penguin is a pretty difficult time of their life because for the most part they're going through something called a catastrophic molt. That means that they'll lose all their feathers between 3 to 5 days, and it's a lot on their body. They will gain anywhere from 30 to 40% of their body weight before they go into their molt. So they'll bulk up, and then they will look like this. This is Heidi. Heidi is waiting for this to be done. And normally what will happen is their partners or their penguin friends will help them out. Sometimes they'll allow us to help them out with some grooming. If you notice, these feathers come out pretty easily. It does not hurt them. It's literally just their body is pushing all those feathers out, making way for those new feathers. And you can see Shim right over there. Now, we do have some penguins that are a little bit further along. Here comes Admiral. He's completely done with his molt. But then we have somebody like Patsy who is just going through it, and she still isn't 100%. Those new feathers are growing in, but it takes a lot of energy for this to happen for them. And the one thing that we want to make sure is that they are getting all their medication as well as their vitamins when this is going on. So occasionally you'll see us help them out with this. It's really important because we do have mosquitoes in this area, and penguins are prone to malaria, which is not a good thing for penguins. You can see this is Skipper coming out right now. He's still getting those new feathers in. And during this time, they become very territorial, or they have a very short fuse at this point. So you'll see them kind of spar with each other. They'll look at each other and kind of go, okay, if you're not going to help me, you're going to be against me. And so if they're not going to help them with their feathers, they'll kind of spar with their bills. And that's a normal thing. But as you can tell on the exhibit, and we've already cleaned and scooped up all the feathers. These feathers are coming off in handfuls. If you go on explore.org and you look at the morning time, it's one of the most common comments during this time that our penguinistas who are on explore.org comment on the sea of feathers that we have on our exhibit. And we have 23 penguins. And this is a perfect example of allopreening. You can see that Skipper is helping his friend out. Because just imagine if there is an itch that you can't scratch. They're there to help. And so around the neck area, the penguins can't get themselves. And so they will have a friend do that. And that is called allopreening. They will allow us to preen them as well, but that's only if their friends can't help them. And so we're the last result. Admiral tends to like people a little bit more than penguins, and so we've helped him quite a bit through his. And even our juveniles, Wally, Cleo, and Dee. Now, this was their first time going through the molt process, and so for a penguin that has never gone through molt, it's a pretty hard experience, and so they weren't liking it all that much, but they got through it, and they have their beautiful new coats on. Again, we have 23 penguins in different stages of molt, and so we're just letting them go through it naturally. We help them out with things like the misters. This keeps it nice and cool, because when penguins are losing their feathers, they aren't waterproof. And so it's one of the things that we want to make sure that the penguins are as comfortable as they possibly can be. Now, common questions that we often get asked is the water temperature. Water temperature is around 60 degrees. Hello, Matson. How are you doing? Are you going to share your spot with me? Sometimes Matson doesn't like me being up here, but he looks like he's okay. Now, water temperature is around 60 degrees, and that is because off of the coast of South America, that is the temperature of the water off there. Now, these are temperate penguins, meaning they're used to being in the sun, but we do make their lives a little bit easier with things like misters as well as restaurant quality fish that they don't have to reach out and search for. Now, we do have 4 penguins that are from what we call the Brazilian strand, and they are classified as founder animals, meaning that they have wild genetic stock. And that is great for us because it's great for the North American population. Their offspring is doing great, and what we will do is then ship their offspring to different facilities to kind of expand that genetic code. Well, I'd like to say thank you all for coming and listening to me, as well as watching the penguins get fed. Your admission to the aquarium does help us take care of all of our animals. So for myself and all the penguins, we hope you enjoy your day here, and we hope to see you again real soon.